This is my first video on what I call personal governance. Essentially, I'm trying to take the systems and policies and procedures of the corporate world and adopt them to my own life. The way I've thought about this is there's three aspects. You have strategy, you have monitoring against that strategy, and you have accountability. Now, the first step is strategy, and that's what I'm going to show you today, which is the personal strategy document that I've created for myself based off lessons I've learned working in the corporate world. And if we start off with this year, we have the date it's last reviewed and the date I created it. You can see they're both the same date. We go down, we did have my mission statement, which I know it sounds corny to make a mission statement, but all the businesses have a mission statement. And I thought, why not actually develop one for myself? Because I'm trying to run my life more like a business. I found that I often feel lost in between my goals. You know, there's a big period in between goals where I just drift and I don't have any direction. So maybe anchoring what I'm doing in my entire life to a singular purpose will help me. It seems to work for companies, so why shouldn't it work for me? So my mission is to develop and implement a system of personal governance, hence this video, that will help me achieve my fitness and financial goals while providing my life structure to spend time with those I care about. Very simple. Something I've wanted to do. I've gained weight over the last couple of years. I've been trying to get it off. Nothing's working. So I really need a new system to be able to move myself forward. So this is my first attempt at it. So I have, just like a business, I have my annual strategic objectives. Company will have a corporate plan where they're trying to achieve some goals, whether growth, new product. I've taken a similar approach for this strategy. So number one, I want to achieve and maintain 78 kilograms. That's really the purpose of why I've started this journey. I haven't been able to, I've been at 80, 85 to 88 for about 2 years now. So I really want to see progress. And I'm hoping that a structured scaffolding approach will help me get there. And two is personal, implement the personal governance in my own life. Look, I think this might be a novel idea. Maybe someone's done it before, but I haven't seen it online. There's a lot of people talk about systems and implementing those systems in your life, but I haven't seen necessarily someone adopt corporate governance for their own personal use. Probably a couple reasons for that. It's a pain in the butt. You know, it's not fun to organize all this paperwork or even to write this strategy, even though it's only a 2-3 page document. It took me a significant amount of time and willpower after work to just put time aside to write this. So I'm hoping that those two, by having these objectives laid out, that I can make some progress towards them. So now more than hoped and just achieve those, I have what I am calling taking straight from the corporate world again. Here I have my objective, and then I have initiatives. These are the projects. These are the initiatives that will eventually help me get to my desired end state. So I have my key performance indicator. So this is the health objective. Now my initiatives are to run 40 kilometers a week, have 3 gym sessions per week with an increase of either sets or kilograms of weight at each week. I think this is something I've been trailing on, is that I go to the gym, but I'm not actually increasing sets or increasing my weight. So I'm just going there doing the same thing week after week, expecting a different result, fooling myself that when I'm tired that it's okay, but evidently it's not doing anything because over the last 2 years I haven't really moved the needle. 3, maintain a diet plan. Now this is probably where I'm really falling off. So I'll do the running, I'll do the gym, but then when it comes to eating, I'm eating anything I want, anything and everything. So I'm trying to have a meal plan. So for at least 6 days, 6 days is the target, but realistically, if I get 5, I think we're on the right track. So I'm going to do for breakfast 2 eggs and ham, and lunch and dinner I'm going to do mincemeat and rice. And then snack, I'm going to have protein and a creatine shake. And 4th, limit alcohol intake to only 3 days a week. So I'm thinking Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe Friday, Saturday, Wednesday. Currently, I'm having a couple drinks a day, nothing too crazy. But again, I need some. I think an initiative like that would help contribute to lowering my weight. So as you can see, each of these initiatives, they build towards the ultimate goal, achieve and maintain, and the metric is 78 kilograms. So my second strategic initiative is personal governance, implementing this system in my life, because it's real pain in the butt. Even, again, like I said, even just writing the strategy and thinking about this stuff, which is quite funny because I perform this type of analysis at work. I am part of a system of governance at my employer, but then when it actually comes to implementing a rigid framework around my own life, for which I am ultimately the CEO of, it was quite difficult, surprisingly. But anyways, so for personal governance, I want to be tracking against these initiatives every day. So I've set up a Google Sheets to be inputting these metrics. I'll be conducting monthly meetings. So I have an accountability partner, someone external to myself, that I'm going to be reporting to on a monthly basis. I've set up meetings with her, and I'm going to send an agenda, which I create, and I'm going to send a 1 or 2 page monthly report just with the update of the month, how it went. And third, I'm going to conduct quarterly meetings. These are going to be a bit longer, more of a strategy session, more of a rethink to see how things went over the last quarter, if any adjustments need to be made in my behaviors. And again, I'm going to prepare an agenda and a bit of a longer report, probably 2 to 3 pages, more focusing on the what's going to happen rather than what has happened. And I'm going to send this 48 hours beforehand. And fourth, I'm going to dedicate every Sunday 30 minutes to analyzing the data of the week. See what happened, be disciplined and ruthless, and see what actually worked, what didn't work, and get my head out of the sand, essentially. Because if I follow these 4 health initiatives, surely I got to lose the weight. If I'm running 40 Ks a week and I'm 3 times a week on top of that in the gym, and I have limited alcohol, and I'm maintaining a diet plan, which is pretty healthy, there's no reason I should not be able to lose it. The reason I'm not losing it is because I'm not tracking anything, and it's leading to me not actually achieving anything. So the KPI for this will be monthly reports produced and discussed with accountability partner. Now I've mentioned the monitoring of this, so I've set up a sheet, but just for the strategy, I've just put a 1 sentence and put a plan on a page essentially and what I'm going to do. So it's to monitor my goals and initiatives. I've set up a Google Sheets and I'll track my daily efforts. So this is kilometers run, gym sessions attended, diet, adherence percentage. Did I drink or not drink? And then this will eventually build up until a monthly collation, and then that will feed into a dashboard, which I'll be able to put in my monthly and quarterly reports. So the accountability structure, I've actually chosen my wife to be my accountability partner. I trust her. She has her life in order. She's not afraid to give me honest feedback, which is something I need. And honestly, just the fact of having someone outside of myself that I have to report to. I said I was going to do these things. I have a report. Did I do it? I think this will drive me in a direction that is taking the excuses out of my head. And then when the results are on the page, it's going to be very difficult to hide from mentally. And then I just put a little bit about the reporting cadence as well, talking about the session length, quarterly, monthly. So I have a risk and mitigant section. This is something that happens. This has happened to me previously. I have a good running schedule. Everything's going well. I've dropped some weight, but then all of a sudden I get injured. Something happens and I go off track. So this section is really just to say, okay, stuff's going to happen, but I need to be able to think through what I think might happen as a risk and have a plan to address it. So here I have injury delays training. It's a high impact to my weight goal. And honestly, it's also a high likelihood. So I'm going to draft a backup low impact workout routine. So that's going to include stuff like cycling, potentially swimming, just so that when it does happen, when I do get injured, I don't take weeks off trying to figure out what to do next or hoping the injury gets better. I just slot in to the new plan. Overcommitment at work. This can also impact my training schedule. So I'm just going to, if I do feel overwhelmed at work, I'm not able to maintain my personal fitness regime, I'm going to have to cut out personal activities. I'm going to have to learn how to say no to friend engagements. I'm going to have to see if I need to go out for that dinner on the weekend, or if I have to reschedule to another week when I have less work on the go. And then this is for a financial emergency. So this impacts everything as well. If I have a financial emergency, I'm not able to pay for gym membership. I can't maintain my bike. I can't get new shoes. I can't pay for marathon entries. So to mitigate this, have an emergency fund, and I'll pause non-essential payments. And lastly, I have the strategy review cycle. So this is going to be the quarterly and finally the annual reviews. Let's hope I make it to the annual. So Q1, we got December, then March. Q1 December, Q2 March, Q3 June, and the Q4 is going to be the annual in September of 2026, which is going to be a full year of me implementing a personal governance system. And I've just signed it. CEO of my own life, because I am the CEO of my life. I share in the wins and I own the failures of my own decision making. But yeah, this is the strategy, which is the first part of the personal governance system that I've been contemplating and stewing on. I will be posting other videos about the monitoring framework that I've used and also the accountability framework that I've used. And if you find this stuff useful, I've created a free online resource. Now, hey, I don't even know if it's useful for myself, but I created it for myself. So now I'm following my own resource because I wasn't able to find anything else online. But if you think this is something you want to implement in your own life, I have templates that mirror this same strategy, and I have templates for the monitoring structure that I use, and also for how to ask someone to be your accountability partner, and also just a higher level view of what the system is that I'm trying to implement here. But if you feel lost and you want some structure in your life, I will say that even just writing what I want down and having some clear goals and some clear ways to get there and a clear metric to see what I am tracking against, this has made me feel better about myself, even though I haven't even come close to achieving the goal. It has reduced some anxiety. And with that, I wish you the best.